So welcome back. Today, looking at the book of Revelation, I'm going to go to the other end of the book and we're going to look at part of Revelation chapter 21. So verse 12 of chapter 21, we're looking at the structure and the dimensions of the New Jerusalem. Also, she had a great and high wall with 12 gates, and 12 angels at the gates, and names written on them, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. We go on, verses 16 and 17, where it says, "The city is laid out as a square. Its length is as great as its breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. Its length, breadth, and height are equal." And I just want us to get a sense of the size of this city. A furlong is an eighth of a mile, or 201 metres. So 12,000 furlongs is 1,500 miles, or 2,412 kilometres. And we are talking about the length, the breadth, and the height of this city. So to put it in a modern context, this is a city whose length can include Melbourne in Victoria and Cairns in northern Queensland. And it's just as high. Let's assume for a moment that that is possible. But I note this in verse 25. "Its gates shall not be shut at all by day. There shall be no night there." So the whole point of a city wall is as a defence. And a city whose walls are as high as they are broad, using these dimensions, would be pretty much impenetrable in ancient world standards. So why do they leave the gates open? Now, if we set this city within the context of a literal understanding of the book of Revelation, here is the kingdom of God established in the world when evil has been defeated. So there's no need for the gates to be closed. But then again, why have the wall, I suppose? But if we look at later verses, chapter 22 and verse 15 reads, "But outside are dogs and sorcerers and sexually immoral and murderers and idolaters and whoever loves and practices a lie." So evil still exists. There still, in a sense, is the need for those defences. But the gates are open. What's going on? Well, it's symbolic. This is what Swedenborg writes. "Heaven, though, is granted only to people who know the path to it and follow that path. Inherent in that angelic quality is a knowing of the path from having walked it, and a walking in the path from the knowledge of it." And he describes it in very physical terms in heaven and hell. This is paragraph 479. In the world of spirits, you can see paths, some leading to heaven and some leading to hell, each one leading to some specific community. Good spirits travel only the paths that lead to heaven and to the community engaged in their own quality of love. They do not see paths that lead anywhere else. On the other hand, evil spirits travel only the paths that lead to hell and to that community there which is engaged in the evil of their own love. They do not see paths that lead anywhere else, and if they do see them, they still do not want to follow them. So we have this picture whereby someone's own nature dictates whether they have access to the city or not. The gates are there, the gates are open, there's nothing stopping them getting in other than their own inability to find those gates. I think there's this tendency we often have to look at admittance to heaven as something like an entrance examination, that you have to have the kind of facts and figures right in your mind before you're let in. And I just don't see heaven in that way at all. It's more to do with your own nature. What are the loves that you harbour? What are the loves that you foster within yourself, that you develop? Because the process is one of attraction. The loves I engender within myself, I am naturally attracted to. And it's that process that means I am either admitted into heaven or not. Not that I'm prevented, but I prevent myself. When we enter the spiritual world, and indeed here and now, in the life we live here in this physical plane, whether the life I experience is heavenly or hellish is entirely determined by the loves that I foster within my own life. As always, I'd love to hear from you, love to hear your thoughts. Do feel free to drop a comment below. Keep it friendly, and I'll see you next time.